Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. As selfishness and complaint pervert the mind, so love with its joy clears and sharpens the vision. As the eagle was killed by the arrow winged with his own feather, so the hand of the world is wounded by its own skill. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. College isn't the place to go for ideas. Death is no more than passing from one room into another. But there's a difference for me, you know. Because in that other room I shall be able to see. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Faith is the strength by which a shattered world shall emerge into the light. I can see, and that is why I can be happy, in what you call the dark, but which to me is golden. I can see a God-made world, not a man-made world. I do not want the peace which passeth understanding, I want the understanding which bringeth peace. I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. I seldom think about my limitations, and they never make me sad. Perhaps there is just a touch of yearning at times, but it is vague, like a breeze among flowers. Instead of comparing our lot with that of those who are more fortunate than we are, we should compare it with the lot of the great majority of our fellow men. It then appears that we are among the privileged. It is a terrible thing to see and have no vision. It is hard to interest those who have everything in those who have nothing. It is not possible for civilization to flow backwards while there is youth in the world. Youth may be headstrong, but it will advance at allotted length. It's wonderful to climb the liquid mountains of the sky. Behind me and before me is God, and I have no fears. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. Knowledge is love and light and vision. Life is an exciting business, and most exciting when it is lived for others. Life is either a great adventure or nothing. Love is like a beautiful flower which I may not touch, but whose fragrance makes the garden a place of delight just the same. My share of the work may be limited, but the fact that it is work makes it precious. Never bend your head. Always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. No matter how dull, or how mean, or how wise a man is, he feels that happiness is his indisputable right. No one has a right to consume happiness without producing it. Of all the senses, sight must be the most delightful. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. People do not like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Conclusions are not always pleasant. Science may have found a cure for most evils, but it has found no remedy for the worst of them all, the apathy of human beings. Self-pity is our worst enemy, and if we yield to it, we can never do anything wise in this world. So long as the memory of certain beloved friends lives in my heart, I shall say that life is good. Strike against war, for without you no battles can be fought. The heresy of one age becomes the orthodoxy of the next. The highest result of education is tolerance. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. There is no king who has not had a slave among his ancestors, and no slave who has not had a king among his. Toleration is the greatest gift of the mind. It requires the same effort of the brain that it takes to balance oneself on a bicycle. True happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking alone in the light. We can do anything we want to if we stick to it long enough. What a blind person needs is not a teacher but another self. What I am looking for is not out there, it is in me. While they were saying among themselves, "It cannot be done," it was done.